If Ashley, you want to hit record? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on the call tonight. I am so excited. We are excited as leaders. A group of us leaders got together and we're like, you know what? Let's start bringing together our content and bringing our teams together to do our team calls, so that you guys can learn from other leaders within our team. And not just like be like trading team calls, but to be like really bringing you guys amazing content so that we as leaders can share the responsibility of these weekly team calls instead of, trying to find something to talk about for the week. We really want you guys to learn from each of us, and we want our teams to come together, and so that you guys can meet other coaches on these other teams that are at your level, or somebody that you can make your success partner, somebody you can get inspiration from, another leader that you really like their team. So that is why we have decided to do these like combined calls. Let me Ashley, can you make sure that everybody else is muted? Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so a little bit about me. If you guys don't know me, my name is Samantha Hauger. I am under Ashley Beeman. I started in July of 2014, so I'm a little over a year and a half into my business. I'm a 1-star diamond coach, and hopefully soon to be 2-star diamond. I really started off my business serious from the get-go. Now, don't get me wrong. It took Ashley like 2 or 3 years or something like that to get me to say yes to actually working my business. But you guys, I took this business serious from day one. And because I did that, I am now a Success Club All-Star. And it is, by golly, I am going to be a Success Club All-Star legend, which means I will have 24 consecutive months in Success Club. Right now, I'm sitting at like 13 or something like that. So just for tonight's call, a little bit of a tip for you guys, something that I learned at Summit for your note-taking. I'm not doing any slides tonight because I really want you guys to listen instead of looking at the slides and copying it down. And this call is kind of meant to be listened to again. So if you don't get all the notes, it's fine, we're recording it. But just like a little tip for your note-taking. It's called ACT note-taking. So if there's something that I say that you're like, oh, I need to try that, I need to take action on that, or I need to apply that to my business, you put an A next to it and circle around the A. If it's something that you need to change in your business, you put a C and you circle around the C. If it's something that you need to teach your team, you need to teach your kids, you need to teach whoever, you put a T and then you circle around that. Just a little tip for you guys, something I learned at Summit. I love that. So just before this call on Team Fearless and Ignite Your Life Tribe, I had posted a photo that I had made, and this is the reason why this call came into fruition. I did this call in October for Team Dynamo because I had made this graphic where I had these photos that I had spent a lot of time on, and I added all kinds of pretty fonts and photo editing and all this stuff to announce the challenge group or to talk about whatever it was, and they got very little traction, very little likes. And I compared those ones that I spent all this time on that were really busy and very salesy. I compared the likes on those photos to the likes that I got on something that was super simple, and it was just a photo of me, or it was just like a photo where and I talked about some kind of really powerful story, and it got all these likes. So I'll make sure that your leaders get a hold of those two photos so you can see why this call was ever created. Okay, so I want you guys to think for a second. What comes to mind to you when you think of the word salesperson? What comes to mind? Really nice people, huh? Right? Like people you really want to spend time with, I bet. Probably not. We all probably think of the same thing. We think of greasy, slimy, pushy, yes. Somebody that you don't want to talk to. I know for me, I like think about going into the Buckle or something at the mall. And no offense if you ever worked at the Buckle. I used to work at Zoomies, and we used to have to sell stuff, and I hated it. You feel greasy. And so what if I could tell you, and I know this is a huge fear for a lot of new coaches and just coaches in general, that they don't want to sound salesy, they don't want to sound pushy. What if I could tell you that you could be extremely successful in your business and not be pushy and not be salesy and not be a salesperson? So that's what this call is tonight about. It's about learning how to be a master of influence. That is how you are going to make the change from being, or just like stay away from being a salesperson to being somebody who is super successful without being salesy. Someone who is super successful without being salesy is a person of influence. So influence is the answer. So when you guys think of somebody who is a big influence in this business, who do you think of? I know for myself, I think of Rhonda. I think of Leanne. If it's somebody outside of our team, I think of Amy Silverman. I think of Bonnie Engel. And you guys, we all have our own people of influence that we think of. Why do you guys think that those people are so influential? Why are they so influential to us? It's because they are able to connect us to human emotion. Think about it. Think about Amy Silverman last year. If you were following Amy Silverman last year, her posts were so full of emotion they could go for years. Think of Leanne's posts and Rhonda's posts. Like, they always post with such emotion. They are masters at connecting us. You know, we're just sitting at home reading their posts. They're masters at connecting us to our own human emotion. And that's what makes us want to follow them. That's what makes us like look at them like, wow, they are doing something. Like, they're helping people. So tonight, I want you guys to learn what you can do to become masters of influence. So what is influence? Influence is the craft of weaving human emotion into your posts, into your videos, into your trainings, into everything that you do in your business, into your conversations. It's the craft of weaving human emotion into what you do. Emotion is king. Emotion is king in what we do, how we decide as human beings, how we decide who we want to follow, how we decide if we want to buy something, if we want to join something. It's tied to our emotions. It's tied to how we feel about that person, and how somebody feels about you is going to be very directly related to what you are putting out in your social media and how you're talking to them in your conversations. So I'm going to teach you tonight how to learn to connect with people on an emotional level. And to be an effective influencer, the whole point of it is to get people to decide that they want to join your team or that they want to buy a challenge pack from you without you having to convince them. They come to the conclusion themselves that they're like, yeah, I want to join your team, or yeah, I want to join your challenge group. I'm totally down for that challenge pack, $160. Oh, I thought it was going to be way more. They came to that conclusion without you having to tell them anything about like the facts about what is in the 21-day fix or how our compensation plan works with Beachbody. That's what influence is. So it's not about facts. You guys have heard the term telling, not selling, or telling is, what is it? How, somebody help me. Telling is selling. Telling, not selling. I don't know. I didn't write it down. Anyways, it's not about facts. It's about, what is it? Stories sell. Yes, that's it. Facts tell, stories sell. Thank you so much. I should have wrote that down, and I had it when I was preparing in my mind. We're emotional buyers. We're not logistic buyers. We don't buy because, so much because of the facts about the 21-day fix. We buy because we want how it's going to make us feel, how your group is going to make that person feel, how being part of your team is going to make that person feel. So number one about becoming a person of influence is getting the right mindset. So huge. We hear it all the time. Another thing under getting the right mindset and how you're going to do that is getting very, very clear on your vision. Are you guys out there getting clearer on your vision? I know it can be really hard. And I know there's plenty of things even in my business right now that I'm just like, I don't know that for sure. But there's some things that you can do to help you to get clearer and to start your day where you know exactly why you're sitting down to do your power hour. And it's going to help to push you through when you get those no's, or push you through when you create a post that only gets a few likes. So what you can do is you can write a letter to yourself in a year from now. Write this letter. So what's the date today? February 10th. The date for this letter that you're going to write yourself, you're going to pretend like it's February 10th, 2017. And you're going to write this letter as if you're congratulating yourself on all the stuff that you accomplished this year. It can be anything. It can be finances, relationships, personal development, career, whatever it is. It doesn't just have to be business. It can be anything and everything. And I want you to take some really take some time on this and just brain dump everything that you want. You really, really want this. This has got to be stuff that you deep down want to manifest and bring into your life in this next year. And you're going to write it in the present tense, like you are congratulating yourself because you made it happen. And what I downloaded, I did this last year, and I love this activity. I did this last year, and I downloaded this little extension on my Gmail. It's called Boomerang, and you can have the letter sent to your email in a year. So that app is called Boomerang. But the thing is like, once we really start going with this business and getting into the day-to-day, we can start to lose that vision sometimes. So the reason why this is because of the law of familiarity. So you've been a coach for a while, you've been leading your team for a while, and things just aren't that new. And you start losing that vision. What you need in order to get back to that vision is you need a breakthrough. And a breakthrough is just a moment in time where you're like, I am not going to stand for this anymore. I don't want to be here a year from now. I want to take my business to the next level. I'm ready to step up as a leader. I'm ready to start making that income. I want to bring my husband home. I want to retire my boyfriend. That's me right now. I want to retire him because I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom taking care of Sebastian by myself. I love having help. So that is, you've got to have that breakthrough moment where you're like, I am going to raise my standards and I am going to make this happen. So a little quote for you: a man without a vision will perish. A man without a vision will perish. The thing is, in this business, and you're going to find this out, or if you're just starting a team, is that people quit. And people will quit because they lose that vision. Not you guys. Not you guys. I want you to take the time to write that vision letter, and I want you to take the time to do something called bookending your days with your vision. So you're starting, and this is from Nicole, bookending. I love it. You're starting your day with your vision, and you're ending your day with your vision. If you start doing that, there's no way you're going to lose that momentum, because those things that you are doing every single day and remembering why it is that you're doing this business is going to push you through. So another thing that's going to help you to get in the right mindset is personal development. You guys hear this all the time. And I was talking to one of my coaches tonight, and we were talking about personal development, how incredibly important it is. And if you are not doing it, you have to start doing it, you guys. It's so easy to do. If you get ready in the morning, 15 minutes, just listen to a podcast, listen to a YouTube video. If you're not a reader, that's fine. If you're big into reading, that's awesome. Read a book. You have to do that personal development. Those who are most influential, if you look at the people who are most influential in this business, I guarantee you they are doing a ton of personal development. So if you want something different, you have to start doing something different. Okay? I want you guys to block out some time during your day, do this bookending do these little visualizations where you sit down and you really think and feel true gratitude for what it is that you have in your vision that you want to make happen this year. Do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, bookend your days with your vision. It's going to help you to get in the right mindset. Okay, so we're building this what am I thinking of? We're building a base here for you to become more influential. The next step, number 2, having an attitude of service. The most influential people have an attitude of service. You have to care more about your people than you care about your product. We say this all the time. Take the dollar signs out of your eyes. Take the success club points out of your eyes, out of your mind. Don't think about that. If you're doing the opposite and you're going out there and you're caring more about the product than you're caring about your people, it's not going to work out for you. You have to care more about people than you care about your product. So how can you do this? You can do this in your social media, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But how can you do this in your conversations? This is the one-on-one. This is like down in the trenches. You're in your conversations. How can you show people that you care more about them getting results, having an incredible transformation, changing their life, than you care about making money? Because a lot of times, we can feel kind of icky because, yeah, we're making an income from this business, but there's a way you can get a person to decide to join your team to buy a challenge pack from you because they came to that conclusion themselves, not because you gave them all the facts. How do you do that? You ask them a lot of questions. And there's some questions I'm going to give you guys for examples to really help you to dig deep into emotions. So you listen more and you talk less. You're asking them lots of questions about themselves, asking them about their nutrition right now. We've got a ton of ideas in like our scripts for questions to ask. But you like I said, you want to help them come to the conclusion that they want to buy from you already. Like their mind's already made up. They want to do your challenge group. They are ready for a challenge pack. And by the time you tell them what the price is, you've like gotten them so emotionally tied to the result that they're going to get when they buy this challenge pack that they've already decided and the price doesn't matter. So some examples of some really great questions that you can ask besides like the general ones about their health and fitness and where they're at with their, what's a typical day of eating look like for you. These are a few. Number one, what are your energy levels and where do you want them to be? Number two, what kind of legacy do you want to leave for your kids if they have a family? Or you can ask them something like, how do you want your kids to see you? Number three, how do you feel about yourself right now? And then number four, what are you doing for yourself right now? So number one, what are your energy levels and where do you want them to be? Because if you don't, that's like basis of everything. If you don't have any energy, you don't have energy for anything, for your relationships, for working out, for going to work, for, cleaning the house. Energy is huge. People want energy. What kind of legacy do you want to leave for your kids? How do you feel about yourself right now? And what are you doing for yourself right now? Oh, and then another one is, what level of regret will you have if you don't do this right now? What level of regret will you have if you don't do this right now? That, I think, is the most powerful one of the bunch. So what this is you've got to be willing to ask those hard questions that other people aren't going to ask. You notice how like these questions right here, they could pull up a lot of emotion in a person. So there is a process, an actual like sales process. And so I'm going to talk about that really quick and just to kind of give you a better understanding of why our scripts work and why we need to be using them. And you don't have to use them word for word, like create them into something you can like make it sound like yourself, but the scripts are in a certain order and there's a reason why that order works. So number one, the first part of a sales process is find out what they need. Find out what they need. It's not about what you need. I know y'all need that commission. I know we want to add people to our challenge groups. I know we want to hit Success Club, but find out what they need. Number two, show that they aren't getting what they need. So this is where you like can relate to them when they're telling you, what's going on with their nutrition and you're asking them those questions. When you show them that they aren't getting what they need, this is where you can be like the feel, felt, found method, where you say, I totally understand how you feel. I used to feel the same way. I found that if I did the 21-day fix in the mornings, I felt so much more energy for the rest of my day. You're relating to them. You're showing them that they aren't getting what they need and that what you have could potentially help them, but in a very, subdued way. Then number three, you create dissatisfaction. And I know that sounds really bad, create dissatisfaction. We're to help people, but think of it this way. It's using those harder questions that I just said. It's hitting the pain points where they're like, it's kind of like the tipping point for them. We're like, I've got to do this. I've got to make a change. And then number four, show them how what you are offering can help. Show them how what you're offering can help. So this is the point where you say, okay, I know all their problems are, and I can link that they don't have time with a quick 30-minute workout with 21-day fix. And I can link the fact that they're really struggling with nutrition to the portion control containers. You're solving their problems here at that point. You're showing them the value of what you have to offer. And then number five, give them the call to action with urgency. So number five is where you're like, okay, awesome. The challenge group starts on Monday. You have 2 days to order. Here's the link. Once you're, I'll add you into the group. Something like that. it has to be in this order. This is why the scripts work. You have to go from here to here to here. You can't, like, how many times has this happened, you guys, where you put a post up about your challenge group or that you're doing like hammer and chisel or something, and somebody's like, I want to do the group. How much does it cost? And our first impulse is to be like, it is, these awesome 35 to 40-minute workouts and blah, 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 blah. And we go through this whole big, long spiel, and then we give them the price. But we don't know anything about their problems. We don't know anything about how we can help them. We haven't showed them any value. Do not give price before you ask questions. Do not give price before they have become emotionally tied to what you have to offer, because that's where you're going to get no's. Okay, so moving on. We're going to switch gears a little bit here. We talked about the sales process. We talked about your mindset. We talked about having an attitude of service. Now we're going to talk about how you can show your influence on your social media. So by doing this, by taking like this advice I'm about to give you, you're going to have more people coming to you asking you, hey, I want to be a part of your group. Hey, I want to be a part of your team. Can you tell me more about it? I think we could all say that we would love to have this happening more, that we're having people coming to us. So number one, how to show your influence on social media? Growth. Number one, growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're stagnant. Nobody wants to follow somebody who isn't going anywhere. So I need you guys to right now release the expectation that your business is going to grow naturally, because it's not. It's going to take work, and it's going to take you growing as a person. Comes back to personal development, guys. Growth comes from learning. Yes, learning lots. It's great that you're watching YouTube videos. It's great that you've gone through your Coach Basics training. Growth comes from learning, but you have to take action on what you learn. You have to take action on what you learn. And one of the best ways that you can do that is to share on your social media how you're growing. Share what your personal development is teaching you. Share with the team what you're learning in the trainings that you're watching. That's huge. None of us that are leaders today ever, like, we didn't just kind of like sit back and let our team grow or whatever and let them figure it out. We shared what was working for us. We shared what we were learning about. And you definitely want to make sure that you're sharing how you're growing through your personal development on your social media. And by doing that, you can add more emotion into your posts, because you're learning and growing about yourself. And we all know that personal development can be pretty emotional. It can really bring up big, really good positive feelings. It could bring out like some of the deep-seated, like kind of pain feelings. But it gets us motivated and it gets us feeling better. And so if we can take what we're learning in our personal development and put it into our social media posts and make those posts with so much emotion, it is going to be incredible for your business. And don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. I think a lot of newer coaches, they were like, I just don't know what to write. Just write. All you got to do is just write and then hit post. It's so easy. It's so easy. And don't worry about what other people think. Because if they don't like what you have to say, bye, Felicia. Like, you don't want them following you anyways. You don't want them on your team. You don't want them in your challenge group. It's okay. So just post what you're learning about and post it with emotion. Okay. And then make sure that you're sharing what you're learning and how you're growing with your team. And that can be, even if you don't have like a team page yet, that can totally be your uplines team page. It can be your team page. You don't have to make a video or something. You could just share the link or whatever. But if you want to make a video about what you're learning, that's what a leader would do. If you guys want to start building a team, you learn something and you're stoked about it and you're excited, and you make a video and you post it to your team to share with them. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So if you're not sharing on your team pages about what you're doing, what you're learning about, your team probably isn't growing either. So it's a direct correlation there. And just, you know what, fake it till you make it. That's my rule. Okay, so I have some calls to action for you guys for tonight. I want you guys to think of 5 no matter what's that you have in your business. What are your 5 no matter what things that you have to make sure that you're doing on a daily basis? It's like a domino effect where it's like there's only these 5 dominoes, and you have to have these 5 dominoes in order to make the rest of the stack fall down. If you took one out, maybe it wouldn't matter. It has to be those 5 things that you absolutely have to have in order to make the rest of the dominoes go. I could give you a hint on 3 of them. We've got the 3 vital behaviors, right? Being a product of the product. Invite, which is more just like share. And I always, every time in a team call when I'm talking about the 3 vital behaviors, I always miss this vital behavior. Somebody help me. Invite. Be a product of the product.
Personal development.
Personal development. Duh. Yeah. See. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was testing you guys.
You already said.
But I always forget on team calls. One always eludes me. So what are your 5 no matter what's? I know for myself, it's the 3 vital behaviors. And then the 4th one is building relationships. I have to constantly be building relationships with new people. I can't be talking to the same people all the time. And the relationships that I do have, I have to be cultivating them. I have to be building that trust. I have to, keep them in the loop, and just constantly growing my network. And then my 5th one is unplug time, because I think it's very important to also have the time where you're away and you can live your life and take the fun photos to share, and share what you're doing besides just working. Because I know, like, in this business, we love what we do. And so it's really hard to unplug because we want to keep working. But I think that's a really great problem to have. Okay. So wrapping it up really quick, we talked about your mindset. We talked about you getting very, very clear on your vision. We talked about having an attitude of service, asking those more emotional questions, posting with emotion. And don't think about it too much. Just post, share your growth, share what you're learning in your personal development, share what you're learning to help your business be better, sharing how you're growing. And by doing all of this in your conversations, in your videos, in your social media posts, whatever it is, you are going to become a person of influence. You're not going to be a salesman. You're going to be a person of influence. You're going to be a person that other people want to follow, that other people trust, that other people want to join your team. They want to join your tribe. They want to join your challenge groups. They want to purchase a program from you, from doing all the stuff. I have this quote for you to wrap it all up. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. We say this prayer to Sebastian every single night. And I think that this has been probably the coolest part of this business, is to the fact that we do all this personal development, and I can't wait to share personal development with him, because, oh my gosh, can you imagine how much different you would be if you had started doing personal development when you were a child and you're getting ingrained with this? So this is the prayer I want to leave you guys with. You have greatness within you. You can do, have, or be anything that you want. And then we ask Sebastian, what do you say? And he says some kind of gibberish, but then we tell him, I am limitless. So do it again with me. And you guys say, I am limitless when I tell you. You have greatness within you. You can do, have, or be anything that you want. What do you say? I am limitless. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Any questions?
Can you redo all of that over again?
So funny, because in the recording of this video that I did in October, you said that exact same thing.
That's awesome. If anyone, go to Samantha's YouTube, go to her, I don't know where it's at on there, but she's got a Tony Robbins-esque video, and I am like 63 views out of the 64 views that are on there. You have to watch this video. It will make you cry. Samantha, you're awesome.
Thank you so much. I love you so much.
I was just going to say, oh my gosh, I don't remember you doing this call before. I mean, I do now that I heard it, but it's so like, this is why you have to hear things over and over. And this is why you have to show up every day and just keep learning every day. I wanted to add one quote I heard when you were talking about the personal development. I heard on a call, I think it was one of Rhonda's calls, but the girl that was talking says, you can't inspire others unless you are inspired yourself. So if you're not doing your personal development and you're coming up with blanks on what to post, that's probably why. Is my two things are you're not doing your personal development and you're not having unplugged time, because you won't have anything to post about if you don't do those two things. So thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you. That was awesome advice too. Any other questions for me? If there's like I can always post a link to that video on Team Fearless and Ignite Your Life Tribe, and we can share that video and make sure I share those images with you guys I talked about at the beginning.
I think we are going to create a group. So if you guys want to be a part of that group just to connect with everybody, then we will create the group and let you guys in there. Just get with one of your leaders, whoever your leader is on this team or on this call, and then you can post it in there too.
I love it. So excited.
This is a perfect start to everything. This is so perfect.
Well, I hope you guys are on fire about your businesses. And if you're not, I suggest a book called 10X Rule. Oh my gosh. I'm listening to it on audiobook right now, and it is so, so good. It is it will get you going. If you guys watch the National Wake Up Call on Monday too, it's actually a really, really great one. So
I had one more thing I remembered I was going to add. You don't mind?
No.
So when you were talking about the questions that you should be asking people when you're talking to them and building relationships, I came up with a kind of an idea. Those questions are things you can be posting about on your social media. So take those questions and, post about how your energy levels are, post about the kind of legacy you want to leave for your kids, post about those things that you're going to be asking people, because that's what's going to interest them. Anyway.
Definitely. Thank you.
I swear I'm done.
Keep it going.
And for those of you that are searching for posts to do about your challenge group or what to post about, just look at your notes from the team calls and just whatever that you're feeling, just exactly what Sam said, whatever that you're feeling, write down one sentence and take it and let your mind just let your mind just roll, and then just hit post. Just like Sam said, if they don't like it, if they think it's dumb, they are not your tribe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because some people are like, how do you not have all these negative people in your life? And I just try to stay clear from all of the sucky people. Stay as far away from them as possible, because they don't matter. They do matter. So
well said. Our tribe does rock. Is there anything else?
Oh, I have one more quote. This is my favorite. You cannot climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. So take your hands out of your pockets and start climbing little by step by step by step. So.
A freaking man, sister. Preach it. All right, guys. I actually wanted to go longer than 30 minutes, but we wrapped that up pretty quick. So,
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I am new with being part of the Beachbody team, how do you, when people think of Beachbody, because they're going to ask, oh, you're part of the Beachbody culture, and they are automatically, because I've had some people say, well, you're just here to sell stuff or whatever. How can you express to people what you do? Because I know part of it is obviously is you want to help people grow and to reach, results health-wise and fitness-wise, but how do you express people about your job title?
I just tell them I just share my story. The products help me. This opportunity changed my life, and I'm just here to share my story. I don't know if the other girls want to add.
Well, this was actually one thing I had written down that I wanted to add to. It's okay to make money in this business, and my coach Rhonda always preaches this to me, is you have to be okay with it, and you have to accept that it's okay, because we work hard. So first, you have to get in that mindset. Second is when people say that, I just back off a little bit and say, oh, absolutely not. I am here to help you achieve your goals, because this is what it's done for me. This is how I run my groups. I did a really good post to somebody the other day. I'll find it and I'll post it in the group, but because she came back at me like that, and I'm like, no, I'm here to help you. Let's work through this. And I've just been helping her every week, checking in with her. Maybe she'll become a customer, maybe she won't, but prove to them that you're not there just for their money, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And and like I said, for that tonight was like having an attitude of service. If you're having that show in your conversations and in your groups and in your social media, I don't think you'll get that question very much.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sam, quick question on when you were talking about don't give the prices before you ask questions. I've been doing a lot of inviting lately, and half of the people that come back with, I want more information, their first thing is, what does it cost? So I try and circle back, and then they're like, and what does it cost? I'm like, and I try and circle them back, and I've actually lost a couple people's conversations because I'm not giving them prices.
Yeah, I wouldn't dodge the question more than twice.
Well, I dodged it the first time. I started asking questions, and then all of a sudden I just lost somebody completely. Like, I'm like, hello, hi, is this thing on? Kind of thing. But yeah, I try and circle them back at least once, and then there's a couple that I've kind of just like lost because I'm not answering the question.
I think you did the right thing, like by asking them more questions, and like that's kind of what I do too. Is like I just ask more questions. It's not like I'm necessarily ignoring the question because I'm going to tell them,
right? But
I tell them the price depends on what pack or what program we decide is going to be best for you based off of your goals. The price depends on what we decide is going to be best for you based off of your goals. I think that's the best answer. And then that kind of disarms them, and they're like, okay, well then let's figure this out. And then it's not like a set price.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I said, it depends. I said it can be anything from free to depending on what program you pick. Since we've got the Beachbody on Demand, I kind of did there's a humongous range there.
Starting off with the conversation, I like giving them like an idea is great, but starting off with the conversation, I wouldn't start with like free to $205 or something.
Oh yeah, no, I did, and that's after I kind of went through the.
I always say, Tabitha, I say, well, it depends on what you want to get out of it. So what do you want to get out of it? And that'll stump them. Like, what do you want out of this? Do you want to just have a program and then we work together? Like, I work with you no matter what. I work with you even if you don't want to get a program. Let's see where it goes from there. I said, what do you want? And then I say, why did you message me? Why did you talk to me? Why are we talking? Like I do that. Like the more that you can revert the question back on them, the easier that is going to be, because you want them to think about themselves and what they want. Because every person is going to be stumped when they say, oh, what do I want out of it? It's going to make them think. So.
Got it. Awesome.
I love that. And those people that you lost, Tabitha, might have just been coincidence. They might have just been like, it probably wasn't something you did wrong.
I go back and invite
they're not lost. I'm still going to follow up because it was just 2 days ago. But
exactly.
Yeah.
I always go back and invite those people to my free group for sure, because they'll always come in and then they always buy a challenge pack after the free group.
I was 10 invites. 10. So.
Anything else? These are awesome.
I just wanted to say hi to everybody. This is my first time joining a team call. I don't know if everyone can see me.
Yeah, Amanda just joined the team tonight.
So I just wanted to say hi first. And secondly, just to add on to Tabitha, I don't have any Beachbody experience, obviously, but a lot of sales. And one thing that I've noticed, and also based on my experience, I guess, just using the products, a lot of people think that it's like, if they don't truly want the change in their life, it's like, okay, throwing money at the problem, that's pretty easy. So a lot of people, if they're still on about the money, they may not be in it for the right reasons either. And that may not be somebody that you really want in your challenge group. So that's just the 2 cents from the Canadian up north who has no Beachbody selling experience, but that's just my 2 cents on the subject.
That's awesome. So true. So true. Thank you, Amanda, and welcome to the team. All right, guys. It's 8:40. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for hopping on the call. We are so excited to be sharing better content with you guys and to unite our teams and bring us all together and learn from each other even more.
I have one more announcement before we hang up real fast. Next week is the only week that we're going to be doing this call on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Otherwise, they're going to be on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And the reason why is because we have a really special speaker, guest speaker. She's a 5-star diamond, 6-figure earning elite coach. I'm so excited. She's going to talk to us about mastering mindset, and that was the date that worked for her. It might not even be 6 o'clock. I got to verify with her what time, but it is Tuesday night. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful evening. If you need anything, reach out to Upline and ask for help, okay? We love you guys. We want to see you succeed too. Have a great night.